Hello, and welcome to Aftershock Online. Thanks for joining us today. Today I have the privilege of having networking queen and a good friend of mine, Melina Shah of Networking360. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
A little background on Melina. She's been in networking pretty much her whole life, but she started Networking360 4 years ago, and over the last couple of years it's had some huge growth. There's not a person that's within 25 to 40 years old that's in sales that probably doesn't know about Networking360 in the Arizona area. I'm really excited to hear about your journey, some of the things that you've done. So let's get into it. Tell me, how did you get into the networking world? What inspired you?
Early childhood, I've always been around business owners, professionals, entrepreneurs, and when I got into Rutgers, I did a lot with people. So when I came out here, I started networking for obviously the job that I was in at that time. And I would go to all these different groups, these different meetings and these different events. And there was just so many things missing. And the one thing that I could not find in the entire valley was one dedicated group or one dedicated organization that took you across the entire valley. Mm-hmm. You would have to join multiple groups just to be able to network in the West Valley or the East Valley, Phoenix. And it was just kind of chaotic situation. So I'm like, well, why isn't there one group taking you across the valley to network, to meet people, to grow your business? And that's when I had that idea, and I was fortunate enough to meet a gentleman who at the time was the dean of DeVry University, and he gave me 12 students, he gave me the platform, he gave me all the tools that I needed to start a business, and which was Networking360.
That's awesome. So you guys do how many events every month?
So we try to shoot for about 6 to 7 events, depending on the calendar or the month. How many Tuesdays, how many Thursdays there are is typically when we have our events, every Tuesday, every Thursday.
Awesome. Now, what makes Networking360 so successful and different than a lot of the other networking groups that you hear about out there?
I'll be honest about this. I think as a young millennial, I see things different. And I see what marketing, Thomas, myself, Chris, the whole N360 team, we're huge on marketing. We're huge on partnerships, collaboration, connections, and those are key words that are a part of networking. So for me, I look at the competition, I look at all these groups, I see what they're doing, and I see what they're missing, and I kind of sponge all that up, and I go out there and I execute, and I do it bigger, I do it better, I put all these ideas into place, which helps us make us stand out.
Absolutely, and I've gotten to know you for quite a while, but I've known Thomas for a long time.
Yeah, you do.
And I will say you guys are such great connectors, and you always look for opportunities. And that's what networking is all about. At the end of the day, it's to try to help each other's business grow, give new ideas. And you guys continue to do that. There's probably not a person that attends your groups that's been to more than one that you haven't sent a text message to and said, hey, I have someone I want you to talk to. What is your mindset there? Like, how do you try to help businesses that are part of your group?
A lot of this answer kind of goes to Thomas and to Chris. So when we meet somebody at an event, it's not just, oh, we have additional person coming in, and we're not just collecting their money, or we don't want them to just sign up right away, but more so, who are they? Who is their target audience? What are they looking for? And we get to know each person for who they are, not so much just their job, but how can we help them achieve their goals, and what partnerships can we introduce them to? And Thomas and Chris, they can talk to somebody and find out everything about that person, and they do it so well.
Yeah, no, I've seen them in action. They're really good.
They're on a whole nother level, but I think Networking360, we're just about bringing people together, not just the community, but the business owners, the entrepreneurs, people who are, stuck at a job from 9 to 5, but they want the ability to eventually have their own business. So we'll lay out the tools, the strategies, the right people that is going to help them get to that next level. And same thing, just for networking, marketing.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. If you were to recommend to someone trying to start a business on a shoestring budget? Maybe they're trying to do it in addition to their job. I mean, what are some of the basic fundamentals you would help them put together? What would you recommend for them?
Get out there. Get your face out there. Get your name out there. Get your business out there. Utilize social media. Utilize Facebook. Utilize Instagram. Create a CRM. There's hundreds of different CRMs. Create a website. I mean, you do an amazing job of building websites, being found online. There are so many resources out there. And social media is the cheapest way.
Yeah.
Create a video, share it, make a group page on Facebook, have fun with it.
Yeah. Tell me about it, because you guys do a lot of videos, you share a lot of content, and you get a lot of traction. I see a ton of impressions, see a lot of likes. What are some of the keys that you have put in place to make your social media the most successful?
So I'm going to start with the obvious. Create a Facebook business page. Mm-hmm. Create a page for myself, Thomas, and Chris. You know, we create all of our events straight from Facebook. Mm-hmm. We'll do sponsored ads. I have 2 group pages with over 1,000 members. I have a private page just for my N360 members. We'll send messages. We'll create different conversations. So, what I guess to truly answer your question, Facebook for me has been the #1 source that I've used to start Networking360 and to keep growing it. And there's so many features on there that people don't even know about.
Oh, I know.
It's crazy. Every day I learn something new. And then their algorithms always changing.
Yes.
Their layouts.
Yeah, the only thing they need to beef up is their customer support, because if something goes wrong, they are tough to reach sometimes.
I know,
we do a
it's
lot
like
of
they're
Facebook
invisible.
advertising. But I agree. That's for most of our customers, certainly B2C. That is the platform that they utilize most. And a lot of times on our side, it's advertising, not necessarily organic.
Yeah, right.
But what are some of the tools, like you had mentioned, and a lot of people might not know about, that or should be used more with Facebook?
With Facebook, go live.
Okay.
I remember a couple months ago, I used to go live every single day. Then life gets busy. But when I was going live every single day, I would take that video and I would share it to 50 group pages. Yes, it takes time, but yes, you'll be found a lot quicker than somebody who just doesn't go live. So have fun with it. You know, create fun posts, be engaging, make friends. You know, just go on different group pages and look at what different people, what they're posting, what they're doing, how are they interacting, who are they friends with. It's kind of like a puzzle.
Awesome.
You got to piece it together.
Yeah. And I understand now you guys have something very cool happening called the Network. You want to go into that and what it is and maybe how people could get involved?
Of course. So the Network is your business alliance morning meetings. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9:30 to 11 a.m. And it's in a different part of the valley. So Tuesdays, we have our Chandler Business Alliance. Wednesdays, we have our Scottsdale. Thursday, we have our Peoria. So what happens is it's one person per industry. But what makes these morning meetings so critical and so different is there is a subject matter that we talk about each week. And when you sit down with these friends, you're going over marketing, you're going over tools, strategies, you're just talking about different things that you might not know about and you might just learn, but it's things that you can incorporate into your business. So and I've experienced 2 of these morning meetings. Thomas and Chris pretty much run them, but it's really cool to see everybody come together and people just saying, oh, I didn't know that, or can you tell me more? And you see the engagement and you see the energy come out of people. And it's really cool to kind of just see that all happen.
So can you give me an example of maybe a couple topics that could be discussed?
So, you know, when it comes to Facebook marketing, what is your favorite what is your favorite social media platform? And you'll hear people shoot to Facebook. Instagram is popular still. Snapchat, Twitter, but a lot of these business owners don't utilize these platforms. And I don't think it's because they don't want to or they don't have the time. I believe that they don't have the right coaching. and they don't really know how the social media platforms really flow together. A different topic could be what CRM are you using? Some people don't even know what CRM means.
Right.
It means client relationship management, and there's different emails, text messages, videos. There's a million different things you can do with that. Another question is, what is your best form of marketing? A lot of people say word of mouth, referrals. Maybe it's SEO. Maybe it's the core, which is social media. So now when you're going around the room and everyone's answering these different questions, now the discussions come up. Yeah. And that's where people are learning.
Yeah, you're hearing ideas and perspectives from other people on what they're doing, and you're able to incorporate that. So it's really a collaboration of ideas, it sounds like.
100%.
Which is extremely valuable. But you mentioned CRMs. What are, I know that you are very good at communicating with your audience. I mean, I think I get a text and an email for every event that you do.
Yeah.
Like that day, and you're spot on with this. So what CRMs do you like that you found work best for you, or would you recommend for a B2C company?
Lion Desk is what I use, and I love it. It's hands down amazing. It's super friendly, easy to use. It does what I need it to do. So really big. I'm huge on communication because I'm dealing with so many people, and I want everybody to know about the event. So like you just said, Lion Desk, I'm able to shoot out an email, able to shoot out a text message. Another great platform that I started using is called Envoy.
Okay.
Envoy, it's an iPad app base. So what happens is every time somebody comes into one of my events, it's kind of like a check-in registration feature, but it's used predominantly for offices. So when someone comes in, it alerts a certain person, hey, your appointment's here. But I kind of made it into a check-in feature. So it takes the photos. I can capture everyone's information and just kind of follow up with them. Let's see. Another big app, Envoy, Lion Desk. I think those are the two golden ones for me.
Awesome. So with Envoy, it sounds like you took a tool and then customized it to your needs, which is awesome. I mean, being an entrepreneur, it's all about figuring out how to make things work for you.
You want to hear something funny? Lion Desk, it's, and any real estate agent watching this probably might have heard of Lion Desk. It's a real estate CRM. So what I did was I took that, and I can literally tag every event someone's been to, but it's really for properties. For like a certain house, open house a person's been to. But I literally switched it, and I got on the phone with David Anderson, who founded and created Lion Desk. And I said, hey, I'm using your platform, but it's for a completely different niche. It's not real estate related. And he's like, you know what? This is really cool. I like how you are using it. And now he's opening it up to small businesses, and they're still working on all the links and everything. Yeah,
very cool. Because I've been in Lion Desk, and it is a real estate CRM for the most part. But with some easy customization, it could be a tool for any small business to use.
You can totally play around with it and switch it up. But I think the common person would have a hard time understanding it. But because I'm using it, I know how I switched everything. It's like easy for me.
That's awesome. That's being an entrepreneur right there, making things work for you. So before we got started, we were talking a little bit about information that you like to get, and you like a lot of Q&As. Tell me about, like, where do you find information that keeps you up in the know on networking, and how do you stay informed on your business?
So I love entrepreneur.com. I love Forbes.com. And so I'm really big on Google. So if I have like this question in my head, I'll Google it. And I love reading articles. Being a young millennial, 29, I'm always looking to see what other people have to say about networking, about business, because that's where my creativity comes from, is hearing what other people are going through, what they see, what they experience. Entrepreneur.com, I really big on like online digital magazines. Anything where it's asking a question, like you just said, Q&As.
I love that too, because you're hearing from someone who's been there, done that, and they're answering specific questions about maybe a new company that they've started or what they've done to be successful. Audible's something I use a lot.
Yes.
And I'm like right now listening to the story about Walmart. And it's about how they created this company. Used to be Benjamin Franklin's, and there were these stores, and they went into discounting. And it's fascinating.
It is.
I've already found like 10 ideas. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do and use for my business.
Yeah.
But it's because it's Sam Walton telling the story, a guy who's created this ridiculous company.
Right.
So when you find that in whatever industry, I mean, I think it's extremely helpful.
And there's so many ideas that come to your mind from reading someone's answers to a question or somebody's feedback on something. It's just doesn't slow down.
Yeah. So going back to networking, I know that you guys have been doing this for a long time. Are there any success stories you want to share of like people that have been connected through your events that you can think of, or somebody that you met that came to your event that's just been instrumental in your success?
Yeah. So one of our corporate sponsors, which is Security National Mortgage.
Great company.
Gosh, I remember when they first started coming out to our events, and I've never heard of them before. But we had a lot of loan officers come to our events from other companies. And slowly but surely, the Security National pretty much made their entire team of LOs from all the people coming to our events. So they were able to kind of meet different LOs, talk to them, have meetings with them, and then have them switch over to Security National Mortgage. And for me, I think that's really huge to see an entire team kind of being formed from Networking360 and the people attending our events. A lot of other things that I see are just, people meeting outside of our events for follow-up meetings and scheduled meetings. And I see them check in and they tag each other. And that's why Facebook is so amazing, because you can bring so many people together.
Yeah.
The other thing that I see a lot is new friendships being formed. I've seen a lot of people come to my events and they don't know anybody, and then a couple months later, they have made friendships with all these people from our events. So it's really cool to see that happen. I've seen partnerships being formed.
That's cool. It's
it's hard to narrow it.
Yeah, but you get to see the fruit of your labors, and that's always fun, especially on Facebook
Right.
when you see a lot of these people that you saw meet at your event, then go on to be friends or do business together. I'm sure that's very rewarding.
It is.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to go right into our 3 takeaways. I'm going to read it off, and then I'd like you to expand on it a little bit.
Sure.
So the first one, be a person of value.
Lend out your hand. Always be giving. Always be helping. Always think of somebody you can connect to the person you just met, or think of, a person you might know of that could assist in something that person is talking about. Person of value, don't go into an event just trying to sell. You want to go in there and, kind of just collaborate, have an open conversation, and just kind of really build that connection. I think that's really the gist of, be a person of value, make people want to talk to you, and make people want to come and, work with you at the end of the day.
And would you say like that's one of the keys really to networking successfully at an event like yours, is coming in without an agenda of what can I sell? It's like, how can I connect with somebody and maybe offer them value?
Right.
Because I don't know, I found when I've gone to quite a few of your events, and I always try to come in with that mindset, and it's been amazing how many people I've been able to send a referral or talk to, and it always comes back.
Yeah.
But, when I'm not pushing out my card, and this is kind of a weird goal, but I have a goal to like never get a card at those, which is like, why do you do that? Well, I do that because I only give out unless somebody asks me for a card.
business
and
card.
I know at that point I've added enough value, we've chatted to where they actually care.
Right.
And even when they give me a card, I don't give them a card unless they ask for it, because I don't just need to push that on them. If they want it, then I give it to them.
Yeah.
And I found that it's been, I know it's weird, but
see, now you're looking at a person, are they valuable to have my card? So when you walk into an event, you just got to be able to show that value in you.
yeah.
And I think the one thing pertaining to that statement is if you go in there and you come off kind of like an arrogant, I mean, that's not a person of value whatsoever.
Right.
And nobody's going to want to work with you or talk to you at that moment.
Right. Absolutely. Number 2, build friendships, make connections, form partnerships.
So Networking 360, it's a circle of results. So I always say, and I always tell people, make networking a circle for you and make it work. So when you go into an event, you always have to build those friendships. Look at everybody like a friend. After that, you're making that connection by talking to them, by meeting with them, by learning more about them. And once you really know each other and once you really build that, obviously, know, like, and trust factor, you want to see how you can partner together and how you can really work together with your customers and your clients and their customer and clients. Is there a synergy? Is there something that you guys can do together? Whether it's an event, whether it's a promotion with both your products, something.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say friendships, connections, partnerships, that's the main force of the circle.
Awesome. Number 3 is share, learn, and educate others.
So at all of our events, we have so many industries that come out to our events, from banking to financial to stem cells, medicine. And I always tell people, if someone invites you to a workshop they have or, something that they're putting on, go. Because you got to learn about all these industries for you as a business owner to be successful. Because your clients could bring up a subject, but you want to be well educated on a vast of different industries. So for me, when I go out, like this past weekend, I went to a stem cell workshop, and I learned all about stem cells and medicine. So now when I go out there and I meet somebody else in the medical field, I know exactly what's going on in that industry. So by saying that statement, you have to always be learning and always be educating. So when I walk into an event, I have knowledge and I can speak to that person and I can educate them and talk to them.
That's awesome. Well, no, this has been great. I've had a lot of fun today. Before we wrap up, I will say if you're looking for a way to network, Networking 360 is a great place to go, and it's all over the valley. So you don't have to just go to Chandler if you live on the west side, or if you live on the east side and go out to Peoria. Tons of great events. But before we wrap up, do you have any asks of our audience?
So I guess as a business owner, when you go out there and you're networking, what are people looking for? When you walk into an event, what's something that you're looking to get at an event? When you leave, what do you expect? And I always try to figure out what people's expectations are when they walk into an event for the first time. Like, why do people come? Mm-hmm. Are we doing our job to help you out the best we can?
It seems like you guys do great with feedback too. You've
Yes.
changed quite a bit over the last couple of years from what I've seen.
We changed multiple times. Mm-hmm. And I think, any business, as you grow, you always have to adapt. You always have to listen to everybody and what everyone's sharing, good or bad. And you kind of have to just put all that right back into your business.
Right. Yeah, it never hurts to hear ideas, whether you like it or not. If you don't hear the idea, there's an opportunity that you could have missed something.
100%.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on today. And thank you for tuning in to this week of Aftershock Online. We look forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks. Have a great day.